Welcome back to Notch EV, guys. I am here in Long Island. This is a V4 stall, but a V3.5 installation still. This is labeled as a 325 kilowatt charger. I'm on the ground at 0% battery here. I am going to plug in and put this camera right on the pilot panel and let you guys see how this charges. Okay, plugged in. It's starting to charge. Let's see what we see here at 0% right now. Climbing up 30 kilowatts. We're ramping up. %1 now. 72 kilowatts. $150 kilowatts, still at 1%. %2, 185. Based on what I saw at Iona 400 charger, this ramps up slower. Iona jumped to 400 instantly. Okay, we're approaching 220 right now at just ticked to 3%. Okay. Capping here. Are we capping here? I understand that 220 is the cap for superchargers, but I was curious if 220 was going to be the cap on this 325 kilowatt charger. But I guess that makes sense, because the voltage is probably the same as the V3s. That's something that is worth confirming, but that's my intuition right now. Okay. It is... Let me check the temperature. Hold on. My watch is telling me it's 55 degrees, and now actually the car is telling me it is 65 degrees. So a big delta there, 10 degrees different. Sorry, shaking the camera a second to grab a mount. Ugh. I want to prop this up for you guys, so I don't have to hold it forever. Still holding this 219 at 8%. Sorry about the wiggle. And I'm just going to get this attached to the gimbal quick. Have I not been recording? I am so sorry. Did I screw that up? I thought I was recording. It is very late. Okay. We are at 218 kilowatts, 219 kilowatts at 16%. I have been going since 0. And it ramped up at 0, and by 2% it was at 219 kilowatts. It had kind of a little bit of a slow ramp up to that, And then since 2, it's been holding solid 219 or 218. I don't know if the charging stopped or if I wasn't recording at all. So I'm going to go over some of the things I was just talking about when I think I was just talking to myself in the middle of the night, like an idiot. We're still holding strong though, 219 kilowatts. This is a 320 kilowatt charger because it's a Tesla V3.5. And so I was actually curious if I was going to get faster speeds than a V3, but I'm not. And I think I'm realizing because the cabinets are the same, the voltage is probably the same, and so the rear motor Lucid inverter, is that what you call it, is upping the voltage the same way. So probably that's why we're seeing the same peak, I'm assuming. But correct me if I'm wrong. I said earlier that some people in the Iona charging video had comments asking about noise and sound of the car, and if it was loud, if it sounded like the fans were really whirring up. So I'm going to walk outside with the mic, and I'm going to put the mic right next to the car. So coming out the side of the car right now, obviously you don't see me, but everything sounds quiet in the back. Up in the front, you can definitely hear the fan kicking, and it's not crazy loud in person, and it doesn't sound janky or weird at all. I'm going to put the mic right down into the grill, and I'm not sure how that's going to sound to you guys, so it'll probably sound louder than it actually is. But here, it's going in now. So that's the sound. It sounds good. It doesn't sound bad, and it's not very loud. Back in the car, we're still holding peak here, 24%. 3:40 a.m. I've been testing really hard all night. That's why I think I screwed up on this recording, and I'm really sorry. At least I can tell you the beginning. So I just did the 70 mile an hour range test, and that's how I ended up here with 0% and to test this charger. The range test didn't go as well as I thought, in the sense where I thought I'd get more range, but I'm exhausted. It took forever anyways to get it done. And although I'm a little bit disappointed in the range, I'm not disappointed in the car in general. Like this, it's so nice in here, and it's so roomy, and it handles so well. So it also charges really well, which makes up for any shortcomings. But maybe in a warmer day or different environmental factors, who knows, maybe it would have gone farther. But I'd like to see some other range tests from people when more people get their hands on them. I know Tom from State of Charge tweeted today that he was going to be getting charging tests and range tests up in a week with the Gravity. So I'm really curious to cross-reference this versus his and see how it goes. It looked to me in the picture that he might have got his hands on a max range gravity as well. So it might be a perfect apples to apples comparison. Well, we're still holding peak, 32%. This holds this nicely on these chargers. Essentially 2% to now, it's just been peak. Just lock my doors. Assuming just for safety, but nobody seems to be around. Some of you guys liked the fact that I put the whole thing up for the Iona charger just straight up uncut. So I think I'll do that again. Although one guy told me I'd lose subscribers doing that I need to learn how to edit. I see where he's coming from. But at the same time, I feel like this particular type of content doesn't need the edit. We just hit 216 kilowatts at 36. So a little bit of ramping down here. I don't think there should be much problems with the charging handle or cable here. This is obviously the newer stall, and also the temperature outside is not that hot, and there's no sun for many hours on these chargers, so hopefully we're good there. I'm excited to get home. $212, 39%, 40%. Okay. $210 kilowatts, 41%. From 219 to 210 is not much of a drop, but it is a little bit. But all the way to 40, above the 40 mark, and we're still above 200. The amount of time it took me to kill that 40% in driving was drastically longer than it takes to get it back in. This amount of time is easily a little highway pit stop, jump into the convenience store, grab a coffee, hit the bathroom, and get back to the car and be around this amount of charge. It's claiming 198 miles added. Now, I think that that is based on EPA rated range rather than this dynamic range, which I think is a little bit deceiving, because that range where it's saying, okay, we added 202 miles right now at 45%, we're at 204 kilowatts. That range is what claims 450, and that is where I was 100 miles short of. Over on the other side screen here that you're not looking at is where I have the dynamic range and efficiency, and that we pulled in here, and that was like 2 miles, even though the car was at 0%, and now it says 165. And that dynamic range was pretty spot on when I was doing doing the range test. So I think really at 47% here, we've added 167 miles, 168 now miles of range, not 212. Okay, we're sitting at 200 kilowatts even at 48%. $199. I would say that 200 plus is mostly peak, shy 19 kilowatts, but essentially 50% now, 197 kilowatt. That's like 50% of your battery you get at peak charging, which is pretty nice. Kicking myself. Can't believe I messed up the beginning of this recording after all the effort. Guess the biggest bonus of doing this so late after a range test is it's a little bit cheaper right now. I basically had to do this tonight after work because the weekend up here in New York is looking like rain both Saturday and Sunday. So if I didn't bust this out Friday night, I don't think I'd be able to get you a range test for a whole nother week. And it's important. It's got to be done because somehow I'm sort of holding the crown here, getting all these gravity firsts on YouTube, which is just crazy. When I started this channel in March, I started it with going to the event in the meatpacking district where they were sort of announcing the Gravity in person and showing it off for the first time. And at the time, I wasn't sure if I should even get it. And then eventually I sort of convinced myself, and I thought, oh, well, if I can manage to acquire one early, maybe I'd be able to get some of the first testing things up, but I didn't know if it would be able to work, if I'd be able to do it. But I kind of stayed on top of Lucid, and I managed to find this inventory vehicle that almost matched my spec, and I was able to switch to it, and I just am kind of in shock and awe that it worked out, because I got so much growth in the channel from it. And I know I'm rambling because there's nothing else to do. We're just sitting here looking at this charge, but it means a lot to me that all you guys were curious and interested to see this kind of stuff, and were nice enough to subscribe, because obviously you don't have to do that, but it's fun. It made a difference, and I'm excited to keep on doing this and trying to get more content out before other people. I want to try to do, maybe while it's raining this weekend, I can do some UI and software deep dive stuff. And now, since I've been rambling, we gained another 10%. We're at 60%, and we're still at 184 kilowatts. The dynamic range says we've added 213 miles. I don't know how long we've been charging. Does it say? I don't know if it says on the screen anywhere. It will say when the session's over. But my phone says I've been recording for 17 and a half minutes, and I missed the first few. So I mean, if I'm just spitballing, I don't have the actual math now. That's kind of looking like at a Tesla Supercharger in 20 minutes, you can get, it looks like 230 miles of range. This one that you're looking at is saying 281, but I don't think that's realistic. I think we need to talk to the devs at Lucid. They need to patch my vehicle. They need to patch it with the range upgrade. Something's going on. It ain't right. I had one on the range test, and I had one time where I stopped and pulled off into a rest stop and just hit the bathroom, and there was a guy that walked up to me because he saw the Gravity, and he was really nice. If you're watching, nice meeting you. But it was the first time somebody walked up to me because of the Gravity, and it's kind of fun. It's a cool car. People are interested in it. What if I messed up the beginning of the charging, but I didn't? What if I got it, but when I attached the phone to the gimbal, I by accident stopped it, and just for a second? I guess I'll find out. I won't be able to find out now, but if it only stopped for a second, then you guys are going to think I'm crazy because you watched the beginning of this. I don't know what you've seen so far. in reality once I get to relive this moment and edit. %70, 155 kilowatts still flowing. I like the graphics they have for charging in the Gravity, and I like the driving graphics as well compared to the Air. I've seen, the regen / power meter in this car is a bar that goes back and forth, kind of like the old Tesla one. And then it looks like the one in the Air is like a swooshy sort of light blue light thing in a circle, and it always seems like it's very distracting, just always like going back and forth. I think they made some good choices with the UI in here, even though they got bugs. Whoa, look at that. What happened? Literally, as I said bugs, everything went black for a second. That was funny. Okay. It's giving me a headlight error for some reason, but I have that a lot. Okay. The clock is literally about to strike 4 a.m. I am getting tired. 74%. Let's see how it goes. I wonder when it's going to ramp down significantly. I have that V2 partial charging test in my first impressions video. I should compare it against that and see if the curve is pretty much the same on this charger. %75, 138 kilowatts. Whoa now. Gimbal down. Did it fall asleep? Looks like the gimbal is not having fun. All of a sudden, it's not holding it together. All right, I'll just have to hold my hand on the camera. We're almost at 80%. And now we've come down basically 100 kilowatts from peak. Car says we've added 278 miles on the dynamic range and 353 on the EPA range that you're looking at. But for reference, that's basically what I got right there on the highway range test just now. So 79% is the equivalent of full 100% in the reality versus the EPA. But we got to get more data points for this range thing, because I don't usually think of Lucid as overestimating that much. %, 106 kilowatts. I think the battery must be dead on the gimbal. $100 kilowatts even now at 81%. 99 kilowatts. Okay, we're officially in slow territory at 81%. 82, sorry. So it's saying 35 minutes to finish this up. I'm not sure I can handle that. I might have to label this video 0 to 85 or 90% and get out of here before I collapse. So right now my current recording is 30 minutes long on this iPhone. And from here on out, it's going to slow down drastically. Okay, we lost 90 kilowatts at 84. 85%, 86 kilowatts. We're almost dead on with each other. Kilowatts versus percent. I wonder how long it'll take me to get home from here. I actually have no idea. I can't imagine there's going to be much traffic though. But like in an hour, that all those crazy morning shift people are going to start getting up. Okay, this is dreadfully slow now. I'm going to do a quick cut. I'm going to stop recording for a second. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take a thumbnail image. Then I'll be back in a second. But we're at 80 kilowatts, 86%. Okay, we are at 90% and 66 kilowatts. I think from here, it's just pointless. It's pointless to film at 4:15 in the morning. We all know what happens. This thing's going to drop down to like 20 kilowatts and then take another 30 minutes to finish this last 9%. And I love you guys, and I love you for subscribing, and it doesn't matter enough. I gotta go home. So I'm gonna stop charging, and I will I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching this, and I hope it wasn't too boring or too weird listening to me just give random thoughts. And have a good night, guys.